Hey y'all, Big Wooly here, and welcome back to episode 33 of our FTB Skies Expert Let's Play. So in today's episode, we are going to work on automating some things, lots of things. We're going to work on automating all the way up through our basic control circuits. It's going to be kind of a process, and I hope you guys don't mind coming along for the journey because we need to make the machines to make the pieces to make the machines. And then we have to figure out how to automate all of it. I have some ideas on it, but I want to go over all that with you together. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so here we are underneath the spaceport. I just put us some elevator blocks in so that we can get up and down from the surface to the underneath. And as you can see, we got a lot of room down here for activities. So much room for activities. So I brought the stuff over with us. I brought the metallurgic infusers that we already had and were using for our steel process, the one that we were using to make our platinum, grabbed our enrichment chamber. We are up to, so far, 18 osmium ingots, and I made, I think it was like 8 steel blocks that we'll need to start making more and more of these enrichment chambers as we get enough control circuits to make them. So that's the plan. We're going to start at the bottom of the control circuit automation pipeline, which starts with signalum plates and redstone. So let's think about how we are going to work the process here. I think it's important that we start. It's pertinent is what I was going to try and say. I'm trying to be fancy, y'all. I ain't fancy. Let's put it right here. And let's get the metallurgic infuser. We may need access to like all of these block faces to automate all of this in the long run. And I think what we will eventually end up with is a bunch of these right next to each other, all doing the same process. And hopefully we will be able to just spit the things down the line. So you can see these two here have carbon in them. So those are for our steel setup. And these are going to need carbon exported to the back of them. Then we're going to have a process that needs redstone, which should be just one metallurgic infuser. And we'll leave that as a placeholder because I don't have it crafted just yet. And then the next one, we're going to need 2 that do the diamond. As you can see, we already have 1 diamond in there. So that represents our second diamond. The first diamond is going to be for the infused alloy. The second is going to be making our refined obsidian that we need for the infusion of our final tier of the regular ones, the atomic alloy, before we send it upstairs. So I'm going to go grab a few of these other machines, get some piping in, and we will go over my idea for the setup. So while I was working on getting everything together, I started to think about how we're going to get power over to our new island. You know, we can send it wirelessly to each machine, but that takes up a lot of slots by our power generation. So I think we're able to make these energy cubes now. So let's see if we've got everything except that. Oh, of course, we need one of the alloys that we need to set up. Okay. Well, this is which came first, the chicken or the egg kind of situation I'm got here. Because I need power out there to make the stuff, to make the stuff, to make the stuff. What do we do? All right, let's head out and let's get the first tier set up, and then that'll get us what we need to get the rest going, and maybe there's enough power. Actually, no, we're going to be using a brand new metallurgic infuser that has no power in it. Great. Okay, we will figure that out here in just a minute, how we intend to get power there. So went ahead and put some drawers underneath. These drawers are actually going to house all sorts of the stuff, the inputs and outputs of the machines. So you'll notice this one here has iron in it, for example. This iron is going to be sucked in to here on the bottom. Now, Mekanism machines will not pull like thermal machines will. We are going to have to make a upgrade for this drawer. I will go over that with you guys in just a moment. This one here is actually going to be the output. So this chest will contain infused alloys when we're done. and it is going to need an input of signalum plates, which I should have right here. So we're going to be able to tell this machine, clear your sides. We want you to input items from the top, output items to the bottom, and from the back, you will accept the yellow slot, which is your infusion flavor. So, and we want auto eject on. Once again, we're going to need something to push those into this machine because Mekanism machines won't do it on their own. And then here in the back, it is going to need a drawer which has nothing in it. And in this drawer, we are going to put our enriched redstone. Once again, Mekanism machines won't push or pull on their own, so we need a way to make this work. Oh, we can't use the back because we have to get power to it, Wooly. We have to get the power to it. Do we? Do we, though? I mean, okay. Let's go with the left side here. There we go. So we'll have this one pull its yellow in from the left. All right, so now we need the upgrades to push the items around. Now they will auto eject, so it'll spit out its product. It just can't pull it in from a source. So leaving the back open for some pipe or some universal cables, let's put this here to signify that that's where we're going to be getting our power from. Now all we need is to make those upgrades. So to the roof over here, and then we need what is called a pusher upgrade. These pusher upgrades are for drawers, and what we're going to be able to do with these pusher upgrades is exactly like it sounds. We can push and pull and yank and tug and twist and all sorts of things in and out of drawers. So on this one, for example, we want it to push to the south, so we can put it in here. We'll just put one in, and then if we right click it, you'll see push to the south, and you'll notice the items start going down. It's going to push those in, and since we told this machine to take its yellow, its infusion material, from the left, goes right into the slot it's supposed to go into. Same for this one, so let's stick one of these pusher upgrades in, and we just need this one to go down. So now, it is pushing to the down, and all this machine needs to make us our infused alloy, which it will spit out to the bottom, is power. So what do we do about power, Big Wooly? We cheat. Not really cheating, but we're gonna avoid the problem for a minute by just coming over here, and I'm gonna steal this energy cube. Yoink! And we can steal this energy cube because once we make one more infused alloy, we should be able to go make everything we need. So there we have it. There's our one more infused alloy. Oh, I didn't want to go all the way to P. I wanted to go to power because I want to smelt up the platinum. Is it just a regular smelt? It is not. How do we smelt up the platinum? In the arc furnace. Okay, of course it's in the arc furnace. Why wouldn't it be in the arc furnace? Now, we only need a few of these. Let's go with 4. All right. There is 4. Now let's go smash these in our multi-servo press. And this should let us make an energy cube once we make the extra tablet. That's what we needed that for. Now we have a second basic energy cube. This one, rather than move the other one, we should be able to just stick it right here. And then if we go in here, we want to tell it all of its sides are input, output. And auto eject is on. And then since we're filling this wirelessly, all of our machines here will kick back up, and that will charge up to its full capacity. And now we have an energy cube we'll be able to leave out here as well, and all we need to do to get this one power is set up a wireless card from our power setup on the other island to feed it out here. But you guys can get the idea of this automation setup. What I intend to do is a drawer controller for all of these drawers to tie it all together, and then hopefully an exporter that will export things in and out. Now, one thing is, I don't want this to just suck all the resources out of my system. So on our outputs of these alloys, I am going to use a iron downgrade. So if we go look at the recipe for these, it's just iron plates and any drawer. And what it's going to do is it's going to limit this drawer to where it can only hold 16 of the infused alloy. That way, or not 16, 64, I'm sorry, of the infused alloy. And then that way, when the next machine starts pulling them to make the blue alloy, whatever that one's called, I will put one in here as well for those. And then we don't have to worry about our resource gen for these sucking our system dry, because it's only going to make 64 all the way up to our basic control circuits is the plan. And then it would back up. And once it backs all the way up to here, it would quit exporting our signalum plates. It'll quit exporting our enriched redstone and all of that. Now, I think the signalum plates, if I can ever get it fully automated, I might let them build up to like 2K. But everything else, we really don't need that awful much. We do want more of our redstone and stuff, our enriched materials. So we will let those, as we get them automated in a minute with our enrichment chambers, we will let those pile up pretty hefty, because then if you need to do big batch crafting of something, you have plenty of those resources. But the ones we don't want is we don't want it to make us, 10,000 of these and then we don't have any redstone for 6 months. That's not a good plan. So I'm going to finish setting up the rest of these machines here, and I will be right back with you. Okay, I think we have everything pretty well set up for the alloy side of things. We need to do all of this so that we can make our enrichment chambers to enrich all of the materials and keep this thing sustainable. I am working on a way to automate the signalum, because we have to make the blend, which has some stuff that needs to be automated on the back end, because if we're going to be doing lots of mechanism stuff, we're going to need lots and lots of these various alloys. And automating it's just inevitable if we want freedom from not having to do this over and over. So the whole setup starts here with our signalum plates, and I do believe I already explained this one earlier, but just in case I haven't, we're pulling our enriched redstone in on the left and outputting our infused alloy on the bottom. I have then told this drawer that it can only hold those, and then I'm piping it out into the side of this metallurgic infuser, which has our enriched diamond. Now, there are two things that are made with enriched diamond. That's the obsidian, enriched obsidian, which we then turned into refined obsidian or whatever, or refined obsidian, which we turn into enriched obsidian. So this here will take the obsidian dust, and this actually isn't the output we'll get from this machine. This is the output from the other one. This was just a placeholder so something else didn't accidentally get stuck in here for memory from me. But as you can see, this thing is making these alloys right here, and it is spitting it out into this drawer and coming over here where they are being infused with diamond and going to this one. And then right now, this is kind of not connected. I'm going to do an ender drawer here. I just didn't have the chance to craft it yet. So we'll take the reinforced alloys out here, place it into this machine. This machine is going to then turn it into the next tier, which I've actually locked that drawer because I forgot to set it, and I wanted to grab one out so that I could set the drawer. Now, we'll do this with an ender drawer as well to take these from here over to this side, assuming ender drawers can be downgraded. If not, I may have to revisit this, but I think they can. If we put it in here, that is going to turn it into 4 quantum mechanisms, which can then be exported to our drawer below, and you'll see the process starting to back up. So right here, this drawer has 64 in it, and it doesn't have anywhere for this output buffer to go. And that will eventually back up into here, and into here, and into here, and into here. And you get the idea. Eventually, we will have enough of everything all backed up so that we have the regular tier 1 alloy. We have the tier 2. We have the alloys we need when we need them. Now, we've got to make, I don't necessarily want all of those. Let's make sure we lock this too. 28 is more than we need on us. Let's head up top here, and I think there's a little bit of mineral resin in here still, and there we go. Basic control circuits. Now, we're going to need to make another fabrication matrix to have dedicated to those control circuits so that they can back up as well. I will get that done sometime off camera. I won't make you guys watch me go through building another one of these. And I will let you know how I get the items in and out, because this one, we can only interact with this block because it doesn't treat this like a multi-block, which is really weird to me. And it super limits you on your ability to automate it, to get things in and out. You literally only have 2 faces to work with because everything else is hidden in the machine. So that's going to be interesting to figure that automation piece out. Now, we needed these next 2 control circuits because that will let us make one more enrichment chamber. Here is our next enrichment chamber. I should have enough mineral resin to make some more. Let's head back out to our spaceport and let's go take a look at the enrichment chamber side of this puzzle. Once again, if the ender drawers will take a downgrade, that is likely going to be what I put in here for a setup. Now, let's come in here before this takes things where it shouldn't and tell it to input items from the top, output items to the bottom, auto eject on, and then I just recorded a bunch not talking because I had to sneeze. Okay, so what we've done here, we went ahead and put a pusher upgrade in this first one, and in case I didn't go over it when I put it in here, you just right click on the thing once you put it in the machine to change the direction. So, you tell it north, south, east, west, up, or down, and in this case we want it to push to the down, and that is going to put our coal into our enrichment chamber, which is then set up to eject the coal into the drawer down bottom, and as you can see, there is our enriched carbon. All we have to do is feed this coal, out will come our enriched carbon. Now we're going to rinse and repeat here for our redstone. Come in here, down. Now you're going to hear it start up on the redstone, and since this one was configured the same, it will do the same thing. Let me go ahead and craft us up a few more basic control circuits and enrichment chambers, and I will finish filling out this setup here, and you guys will get to see, what it is that I had in mind all along. So give me just a minute. And here we have it, our finalized enrichment chamber setup. So I just used the config card to copy and paste, made it super simple. I didn't have to open up those GUIs on each one, and it as I added the things in, made sure to lock my drawers. So this was the material that was missing over on the other side. We needed this here obsidian dust so that we can then enrich it. Or not enrich. Yeah, what is it called? We'll have to see. Hold on. So if we stick them in this drawer, this is set to push into this metallurgic infuser, which then outputs down here to the bottom. And when we get our first one, we'll get to see what it's called. It is called refined obsidian dust. So we need to refine the obsidian dust. And then this obsidian dust has to come back over to the enrichment side and get enriched into enriched obsidian, which we then use for our process for our alloys. This is how you make your atomic alloys. We're starting to back up in that drawer. Now, I'm debating on how to move things around, whether I should get into like a logistical sorter off the drawer controller or what. But I'm definitely going to have a drawer controller over here, but it's going to be selective on what's connected to that drawer controller. And that drawer controller is going to be how we can access the things that we need that are being created over here. It will eventually be able to get tied into our AE2 with an external storage. We can't tie it in really with our current setup that I know how. So I need to play around with the dimensional stuff and see if we have access, because I think the stable wormhole might be like a interface bus, but I'm not sure. I've never used it. So gonna have to give that a look. That is definitely on my radar for the near future. But as you can see, this is just working away. I just tossed like 50 something of the reinforced alloys into here, and we are quickly getting to where this is going to start backing up into the machine and then into the drawer above it once we fill up on the quantum mechanisms there. So I'm gonna just, from time to time, I'm gonna tend to this for now until I can get all of these things connected with my storages on my various islands in an efficient manner, which is ultimately gonna be AE2. We may be able to get there sooner. I want to play around with dimensional storage and see if I can figure it out, because I've never used that mod in depth before, and it does have wireless access that we would be able to use to get to our stuff. But if I can't utilize a drawer controller tied into it with a priority set, it just won't work for how I like to automate things. So this has been quite the delve into Mekanism today. We have got all sorts of resources being automated here. I do believe I've probably got enough time for us to go through something, one other bit of this. I don't necessarily know what I want us to do. Let's see, how do we generate water in space? Apparently that's a reason. Make sure you pressurize the room with oxygen. So we need an oxygen pressurizer. To have a water pool in your space station needed for an aqueous accumulator, make sure it's pressurized. If you don't, be prepared to get nice farm. Okay. So, yeah, give me a minute. I'm gonna take a look at the quests and see where I think we can get to with our time we have left. So looking forward to things that we don't have automated yet that we're gonna need. Duroplast sheets are gonna be a part of our life going forward. We're gonna need them for making the cores of the machine frames for all of the stuff that we're getting into in Industrial Foregoing. I don't know if we can get away with like a limited setup for it, but it seems like something worth just making a setup for a fluid mixer for, and producing the phenolic resin and having a stockpile of that. We can craft the sheets as needed, or we could craft it all the way to the sheets and stockpile that maybe in a similar fashion, downgrade it to like a drawer that holds only 64 of them to limit how taxing it is on our setup. But I think that's what we would need, what we're gonna do next. Words, Wooly, words. Now, for moving the ethanol that we're going to need, we have ethanol set up and being made in a couple of places. We have it right here on what is going to be a permanent setup once I can make the stuff to stick under that thing to keep the thing the right thing with the thing, okay? Did you get all that? Yeah, we got to make that liquid to stick in here to keep this the right temperature. But we're making ethanol this way with sugar and recycling our stuff there, which is fine. So we're going to put a fluid transfer node here on our ethanol pipe, because then even if we're making it down there, we can still feed it up into the fluid transfer node. And then we're going to send this fluid to a fluid mixer that will make our phenolic resin. Now the fluid mixer doesn't even need to be in here because we're going to be sending it its latex and its ethanol wirelessly with transfer nodes on both ends. So give me a moment to go find us a spot and we're gonna set that up to make the resin and the sheets. All right, y'all. So I need some stuffs. We need some of these infused alloy for some of the things we're trying to do. So if you need to pause on this, there's a couple ways you can do it. Probably the easiest way is just come in here and tell it not to eject. And so now I can toss my signalum in here, and it's just gonna make those reinforced alloys for me, which I need for crafting a couple of things. We're going to need it for crafting up some basic energy cubes to move some power to some other places. Like, I don't want to have to run a bunch of universal cable all over, so what I'll probably do is maybe one per side or something, have like, you know, an energy cube here getting fed power, another one over here, and another one over there, and then that way I only have to have pipes, you know, kind of in the vicinity of it. But for right now, that's what I'm going to do so that I can get power over here to set up a compressor for our fluid mixer. All right, let's get our phenolic resin fluid mixer set up. So I changed my mind a little on how I was going to set this up because the flux compressor is very, very, very inefficient. And we have these diesel generators and we have the force infused biodiesel at our disposal, so there's no reason not to use it. Now, I thought I had a rotational speed controller in here, but it appears that I don't. So I need to go grab one of those real quick. Cool. So let's go. Let's see. We're going to need it near these thermal machines because we're going to need to fluid encapsulate it. So let's put it back up here. How about that? Right there. So then we're going to bring our rotational speed controller right off of it. And then we need a few coordinates of things. We're going to need this one for our force-infused biodiesel, and it goes into the new fluid one that I made right here, and that should send force-infused biodiesel over there. Spaceport. Now let's check. Do I hear it running? Yep. I hear a diesel generator running. Yay! Okay, so that's got our rotation for us. We need a large cog for the rotational speed controller. There we have it. And then now all we need is to get our compressor going. Where is the compressor I made? Did I not make the compressor? I swear I made the compressor. Maybe I didn't. Hey! I obviously have a spawnable block over here somewhere. Must be like up in the tree or something. All right, what were we doing? A air compressor. Oh, we needed reinforced bricks, which we are out of reinforced stone. That is what I was going to do. I was gonna make some more of the reinforced stone. Alrighty, so I made our rotational compressor and then used our setup here to step up our speed a good bit so that we can get pretty quick pressure buildup on this side for our fluid mixer, which really doesn't require a whole heck of a lot of pressure, but does require pressure. I don't even know if this recipe calls for pressure. Wooly may have just wasted all this time, and I don't even need pressure in the machine for this to work. But we have our 2 tanks here. One of these tanks is going to need to be the a set of something or another, that stuff, and the other one is going to need to be latex, right? No, ethanol and latex, right? Ethanol and latex. Ethanol, let's go look at each uses. And then in a fluid mixer, you make this stuff. Yep. And then we use that in a fluid mixer for our phenolic resin. So let's get our first one going here. So we need this location, and you are gonna get ethanol. All right, y'all, I sort of forgot to unpause there, but we've got this set up now. So we needed molten silver to make our acetamahuba boo, whatever that thing is with the A, that light yellow colored fluid. So we needed molten silver. I made a magma crucible. I brought the power over like we talked about. GPS data card to our wireless transfer node. You guys know the drill by now. We're feeding the molten silver out of the bottom of here and into the tank. Now, we are going to need some basic mechanical pipes to connect these up to their respective sides of this thermo-pneumatic fluid mixing plant processor thing. It's a fluid mixer, okay? And then this should be good to go and start making that chemical we need. So now we're gonna take that chemical and we're gonna need some more mechanical pipes. Do we have any? Logistical transporters. Nope, we need mechanical pipes. Let's go grab some. Mechanical pipes. Sorry, I sing things when I'm nervous. We are out of buckets. Gimme, how about a stack? Can you do a stack of buckets? What about, yeah, there we go, lots of buckets. Oh no, we've run out of iron sheets, plates, iron. Isn't it ironic that we've run out of iron? Let's take the rest of this iron and smelt it. These skellies, man, they are not nice or welcome. So let's go make some more iron plates real quick. Dun, dun, dun. Hey, no, that is not what we told you to do. Okay, and then you get all the iron. Smelt it up for me. Look at all that steel. Heck yeah. Okay, there's that. Heat up. Oh god, we're teleporting places. Y'all didn't see that. He was in my way. He looked at me funny. So this is gonna make up our chemical thing we need there. What does that take with its process? So we need that with latex for phenolic resin. It has no temperature, just a fluid mixer. Cool. So we need latex and that stuff. So let's grab this. And then if I were to Grab out some more pressure tube. Did I use all my pressure tube? Thought I had 5 pieces. 1, 2, 3. Need more pressure tube. So there we have that. And then we just need to get our latex into this other side. So we will put one more mechanical pipe. Latex can go right here. Grab our GPS coordinates. Our latex setup is still on the front lawn because, you know, who doesn't make latex in their front yard? I mean, if you don't make latex in your front yard, what are you even doing? There's latex, and that should be sending latex to our mixer once we tell it to pull. And this should make us our phenolic resin. There we go. That's just going to need to get piped out into a fluid mixer with paper. So we should be able to pull the byproduct out the front, I guess. There it is. Let's go grab ourselves another tank. And can we make the fluid mixer while we're at it? Tank. Oh God, no, we're out of iron sheets. No, the humanity. Presto. Okay, tank, spaceport. To the spaceport. It's like to the bat cave, but spaceporty and not bat cavey. All right, cool. Looks like the only thing we're going to be short on is some silver, so I'll work on getting silver going for us. But there is the phenolic resin, and then our fluid mixer, or encapsulator, sorry. We need this flux coil, and we are out of machine frames again. Please hold while I make machine frames. All right, there we have it. So we made our fluid encapsulator up. We brought some power out from our cube into the back of the machine. We're going to put a drawer on the side here where we can stick paper in when we need the resin. It should output to the bottom. Last thing we have left to do is to tell this it can pull the resin out of the drawer. So there we have it. This is quite the hideous setup, but what it does do is what it's supposed to do. And if it works, is it really all that ugly? Yeah. So that gets us all the way up to automating these duroplast sheets. We're automating the duroplast sheets because we are going to need a lot of them in the process of making something. One of these things that we're into. Aha, the fluid laser-based stuff, the machine frames. We need them for the simple machine frames. And that was the only piece that we didn't have a way to just slap some resources in and get out what we needed. So now we will be able to slap resources in and get out the simple machine frame parts that we need. So that gets us all the way up to these duroplast sheets being automated. So right now we'll have a stack when we're done, which should last us a while, but anytime we need it, you know, it really only requires like 2 inputs from the user. Toss in some silver, toss in some paper, and the rest is all being generated automatically elsewhere. So, kind of ugly, but it's hidden down here, out of sight, out of mind. It will be great. And now that we have some power coming in right here, let's back these 2 machines up. And we can get them wired in and keep going making more osmium. So how about pulverizer, centrifugal separator? The pulverizer can output to the right. Centrifugal separator can input from the left, auto input, auto output. So we can put our platinum in here to pulverize it up. It'll send it over here where the centrifugal separator will spin it down for us. And then it just needs tied in with some power right here. And that'll get us back making osmium. So with that, I think I'm way over time on an episode, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it. We did a ton of Mekanism automation back there. Got you set up. All you got to do is figure out how you want to move your items around your base. When I find out how I'm going to do it, I will let you guys know in a video how I end up moving the items around. So I really hope you've enjoyed the episode, and if you haven't already, please hit that like button. And if you're enjoying the content and want to know when the new ones come out, please hit the subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.